Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Kevin Parizo, and I'm here with my co-host this year, Rick Cole. I'd like to welcome you, Rick.
Good morning.
Rick, life member of the Middlebury Fire Department. He was chief for 18 years, so it's a pleasure having you with us today to co-host and announce this parade for MCTV.
Well, thank you for asking me.
Well, it's fun.
And we're thinking of Larry while we're
Yes.
sitting here. So
Larry Volkert, who gave many years of dedicated service
Yes.
to MCTV, as well as so many other projects and community events, so thanking him. The theme of today's parade is honoring the memory when we talk about the loss from all of the wars, back from our very first war, 1776, to present day, and we've lost over 1 million people. But I think today we also respectfully honor the memories of all of those other individuals, not just militarily, but those individuals that are in the emergency services that have given their life in dedication of career and duty and all of us. So
Yes.
we thank them as well. I'd like to also thank MCTV. Kirk Broderson is their executive director. I'd like to thank Kirk and his staff who have set all of this up for today's broadcast. We're trying a whole new system. We have this gorgeous television monitor in front of us that we can hopefully see everything that's going on. Cameras have been mounted on poles outdoors, and we hopefully will get this right. But I think, Rick, you know, in all honesty, I have to make a disclaimer. We'll do the best we can. And
Absolutely.
Our sheets that we use are, as I was told, a work in progress. So things could change at any moment. So if we happen to announce somebody that's incorrect, well, we'll get it right next year.
Yes.
And if we don't, well, okay. But no, we're pleased to do this. I think we have to remember, just from a historical perspective, that Memorial Day was originally called Decoration Day. And it's a day of remembrance for those who have died in our nation's service. There's evidence that there were organized groups in the South that were decorating graves before the end of the Civil War. And what's very interesting, it's a day that finally on May 5th, 1868, Major General John Logan, who was the national commander of the Grand Army, made a proclamation, and I'm going to quote it. The 30th of May, 1868, is designated for the purposes of strewing flowers or otherwise decorating the graves of comrades who died in defense of their country during the late rebellion, whose bodies now lie in almost every city, village, and hamlet churchyard in the land. In this observation, no form of ceremony is prescribed, but posts and comrades will, in their own way, arrange such fitting services and testimonials of respect as circumstances may permit. On May 30th, 1868, was the first formal celebration of Memorial Day, which was held at Arlington Cemetery with over 5,000 attending, including General James Garfield and General and Mrs. Ulysses S. Grant. New York State was the first state to officially recognize the holiday, and that was in 1873. And by 1890, almost all of the northern states recognized this. Congress passed the National Holiday Act in 1971, and it was at that time where Memorial Day was fully declared a national holiday. So we've been celebrating this ever since, and it's celebrated in many different ways. Years ago, Rick, you and I will remember this, where poppies were sold.
Yes.
And poppies were the national flower of this. And of course it was inspired, the poem In Flanders Field. And I don't know this year if they do that by the monument, but there is a ceremony up by the monument after the parade is over. And I think it's fun to sort of bring back some of those historical events. Michael, who wrote the poem, we cherish too the poppy red that grows on fields where valor red. It seems to signal to the skies that blood of heroes never dies. And she was the one that sold the poppies to make money for the servicemen. Here we have many of these organizations today that try to raise money for these projects. For example, the Wounded Warrior Project, as well as many of the other organizations that have helped out, VFW, the American Legion, all of these. So we're pleased to be able to be with you today. Great day. The weather is gorgeous. We should be getting started most any time. As you and I are looking out from the conference room of the municipal building, we're seeing what I would consider to be one of the larger crowds that we've had in a number of years.
Yes, it's really starting to accumulate.
Yes.
Yes.
And one of the things that will be a treat this year for all of us will be the fact that when the Middlebury Fire Department comes through this year, there's also a special vehicle that's going to be paraded through.
Yes, it's been several years, yes.
And Rick, maybe you can tell us a little bit about that, because it is historic.
Yes, well, it's a horse-drawn steam fire engine from the 1800s. I don't remember exactly the date. And it was originally purchased brand new for the town of Middlebury.
Wow.
So it is still with us. We did a lot of restoration on it. I want to say probably back in the 80s. And we've drawn it now and then in parades, and it's been several years since it's been in. And so they're bringing it back out this year.
Wonderful. Well, I noticed earlier they went by. It must be to go up and get, and
Yep.
it will comment when it comes through. But I thought it would be something to mention ahead of time, so that when people see it, they sort of know that it's
Yes.
historically a very vital part of this community.
Yes, and this will be a new set of horses that draw it this year. The gentleman that did it for many years passed away, and that's part of the reason we haven't had anybody, because we of course want to be sure we got a very gentle set of horses to pull it. And but we had another person with a team come forward and say they'd love to do it.
Oh,
So,
wonderful. Great. Well, it's nice to see, and I think it's a vital part of Middlebury's history,
Yes.
you know, and correct me, Rick, but I believe it's now part of the equipment that is quote unquote through the Battelle Hose Company.
Yes.
And which is great. You know, the Battelle Hose Company was one of the precursors to the Middlebury Fire Department.
Yes.
And, you know, so it's great to see, and as well as all of the other organizations that will take part today. I tried to the best of my ability to contact the Shriners group to see, you know, because sometimes we have their band and the drummers, because I would have loved to have found out what it is they play. But they didn't return my phone calls, so we'll take a guess at that. But I do have the information that the high school band, as well as the middle school band, what they'll be performing and playing. But certainly, if everything comes down through for all of these units that we have been given the sheets on, it should be a fairly good-sized parade.
Yes.
And, you know, but I think it's always fun to watch a parade, and as this year, again, I have to compliment MCTV for setting this up the way they've done this. This is magnificent. And, you know, but to see the children and how the kids love a parade, and it's great to see.
And that's what it's all about.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
We honor those that have given the ultimate sacrifice, and certainly that will always be a vital part of why we celebrate today. You and I were talking earlier about the fact of the placement of flags on the graves throughout the different cemeteries, and it's such an important part of honoring these people. You know, both you and I have family that are in these cemeteries, and for us to still, you know, be able to go back and celebrate the fact and bring back memories of what they were and who they were and how their lives impacted us, you know, which is still very important, I think.
Oh, I agree, yes.
And, you know, so I compliment those that place the flags. It's a lot of work. it's a massive amount of work to put out those little flags all over everything, and then, at some point, the flags get torn or broken or something, but hopefully that is a project that we can continue for many, many years. Vital part of, I think, what Memorial Day is all about.
Yes, yes it is.
I think sometimes we forget the fact that our national holidays, I used to sometimes hear the confusion that this is also called Veterans Day. No, Veterans Day is something totally different.
Yes.
Memorial is memorial, and again, I think we can now sort of safely say that the memorial is both the militarily a very important part, but also to be able to honor those people for the emergency services, that have given their life, and very, very important. So it should be remembered, I think. And one of the things to highlight this year that we'll be seeing, they do have some new entries in here, so I think it'll be fun to see what kind of things are new. There's supposed to be a pipe band, and of course one of the things that will be coming down in a little while, Rick, is something that you and I probably would love to have, and that's one of those little mini monster trucks.
Yes.
I've often thought to myself, that's the way to drive across town. But as you and I sit here in the municipal conference room looking at this monitor where we can see the roundabout, it brings back so many memories for both you and I, being lifelong residents of this community, that roundabout never existed.
No, it didn't. I mean, there was a type of one.
Yes.
But nothing like this.
Nothing like this. No. And it's always fun, to see people navigate it.
Yes.
And of course, the legality of all of this is who has the right of way, who's on first, who's on second, and who hits the home run. But it's been fun to watch it sometimes, as to how they go around. But when I often think back, Rick, just in our lifetimes, how this community has changed.
Oh, yes.
So drastically.
Very much so, yes.
Back when both of our families first came to this community and had businesses, because both your dad and grandparents, my dad and all that, had stores here in Middlebury, and how this town has changed.
Yes,
And,
changed tremendously. You used to be able to walk down Main Street and buy most anything.
Oh, yes.
Groceries, clothing, utensils, you name it. It was there.
Yep. Well, you hate to say it, but and I don't think we're dating ourselves, but perhaps we are. But today so much is done online,
Yes.
and I couldn't help but think to myself, you and I will remember when on the Battelle Bridge, parking was allowed on both sides.
Oh, yes.
And
yes.
and today people look at you when you say those kind of things as if you're speaking Greek. Oh no, there's never been parking. Well,
Oh, yes, there was.
yes, absolutely. So
And now if there's a car parked there, you can't go.
exactly. But there again, I think sometimes we forget too the size of some of these vehicles
Yes, that's true.
have changed so drastically.
A lot, yes.
In your tenure of 18 years as fire chief, look at the difference in size of equipment
Oh,
that you saw and versus what we now presently have.
yes. Oh, yes. Equipment's gotten so much bigger and much more sophisticated and technical.
Oh, very much so.
Yeah.
I look at so much of our equipment today, the emergency services equipment, whether it be the fire department, the ambulance, even police cruisers, they have to address so many issues
Yes.
today that just didn't exist. And to me it's amazing. But I know that as we all know, paying taxes, we don't want to see our tax dollar go up too high. But yet, when we start looking at some of these pieces of equipment and apparatus. $1 million no longer buys everything you need.
No, that's, I mean, when I started to be chief, we started upgrading some of our equipment. And believe it or not, it's been 25 years on some of it, and that's about the life of it.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty much to buy today's equipment, like say a pumper, almost very similar to what we had 25 years ago, has doubled in price.
Oh, sure.
And it's in 25 years. I mean, it's just, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just in our lifetime, we have watched this town grow to the point that we need a very sophisticated ladder truck.
Yes.
Versus both when you and I were kids, and I know that probably for most people seems like centuries ago, but a ladder truck wasn't that much of a needed thing. We
Right.
had a little one, but
Right. Next, we had the old tillers, of course, but they were always, second, third hands.
yes.
And when you went out, you hoped they were.
Yes, exactly. Or if the ladder went up and it wouldn't come back down.
Right.
You know.
Yes.
But, well,
Well, I think I can see a blue light up there.
yeah, I can see it's up part of the way up.
Part way up the street, so
Yep.
maybe they're on their way.
I think they are, because I'm seeing some red lights and blue lights, and you can always tell too once they start getting closer, because you watch the excitement through the kids' eyes.
Yes.
And of course, what I always wonder is, are they excited to see the parade, and or are they more excited because candy's going to get thrown, and how much can we collect for one day? But again, I think we just have to remember why we're here today, and we're so pleased to be able to do this, pleased to be able to broadcast this for all of those that are not able to be here live. And again, I applaud MCTV for taking the time out of their schedule and to make sure that this is a very important part of today's celebration. So
Yes.
for the young man sitting behind all these monitors behind us, I thank you very much. Who's been very gracious about getting us set up so that we don't look too foolish, Rick.
That's true. That's a difficult task.
Well, it is for both of us, absolutely. But that's all right. We have a good time.
Well, the crowd is getting bigger and bigger.
It is. It is. And it's nice to see. That initial forecast when they were saying that the potential of it being up in the 80s and 90s, I thought that gets a little hot.
Right.
Especially when, these bands have to be in uniform and the different organizations have to be in full uniform. And
It's just about right out
oh,
there.
blue skies, gorgeous weather. Can't ask for a better day to do this. Then across in Cannon Park, where all of the flags are out for all of those that have given their life or have served their country. The other day I was out for my walk and I stopped and looked at many of those flags. A lot of names, a lot of people that bring back many memories.
Yes.
Which is a wonderful tribute. Well, we can see lights, Rick, but so far I don't
know,
I don't-
nothing's moving very quickly here.
No. My understanding is, and I remember Larry Volker trying to explain it one year to everybody, that no matter how well organized they are up at that end, things can get botched up a little bit.
It's quite a crowd up there at Porter Field, and it takes some organization to get things moving.
Yeah.
And moving in the right order.
Yes. And plus, there's always, unfortunately, the reality of the situation is potentially there's always the chance of an emergency.
Yes.
Where you have to get a cruiser or an ambulance or a fire truck. Something has to be able to go through. And
Go.
I remember a few years ago, all of a sudden, we were watching on the little monitor that we had, and everything went sideways in a hurry because they had to get an ambulance through.
Yes.
Everything came to a halt in a hurry. But that's the advantage of perhaps a smaller parade, that we can do that.
There. Now you can see them a little better.
Yeah, they look to be almost at the corner of South Street now.
Yes.
So they're getting there.
It's like a police car and an ambulance.
Well, while we're waiting, I can at least tell you that I did contact the two schools as to what the bands are going to be playing. The Middlebury Union High School Band is under the direction of Rob DeBruin. It's made up of 50 students, grades 9 through 12, and they're going to be performing Sir Duke, which was composed by Stevie Wonder and arranged by Jay Bocock. The middle school, the Mums Band, under the direction of Connor Young, they have 68 players, grades 7 and 8, and they're going to be performing Crazy in Love by Beyonce. So hopefully they'll stop in front of us to where we can have our private concert,
Yes.
which I think is wonderful.
That would be nice.
But it's nice that they get to participate, and my understanding is they go from here to the Virgins Parade. So they load the buses and away they go.
Away they go. Oh, it always was an honor. I mean, when I was many, many moons ago in high school, I was in the band, and it was always an honor to march in the parades. And
Well, especially too, I think, and it is today, I think, that the teachers do an outstanding job still educating our students as to what the true purpose of this is.
Yes.
It's not just a performance that, okay, fine, you get out, you play, you walk away. I think most of these young students today, or students in general, understand the significance of this. Something very, very important.
very important, yes.
Well, usually by this point, Rick, we start to hear some drums. I haven't been able to hear that, but
No, they're moving very, very slowly.
yeah, I am seeing the lights. So it appears that they are getting closer. And you can almost see, too, as we're looking out of our front windows here, that everybody is sort of looking towards, so.
Yes, they're looking that way. Yeah. Like things are getting ready to start.
And as they approach the roundabout, I think you're absolutely correct. It's Middlebury Police Department. Now, on our sheet, we're supposedly, this is under Unit 1, however they decide that, but it's supposed to be one of the sergeants, Jason Covey. And but it appears that there's another cruiser behind the Middlebury one. And as it gets a little closer, hopefully you and I can figure out what it is.
Who that is, yes.
It almost looks like one of the sheriff's cars, but hopefully,
Okay, yes, I think maybe it is.
but hopefully we can figure that out. And of course, if it's the Addison County Sheriff's Department, Michael Elmore is the new sheriff.
Yes,
And it's followed by MREMS, Middlebury Regional Emergency Medical Attention. And so they have, it appears, 2 of their ambulances.
you're absolutely right. The second car is the sheriff's car. You can see it on the
Yep.
side.
Yep. So no matter how we, on our list, Rick, you and I are going to be making some of this up.
Well, this is Unit 2 here.
Okay, mine's Unit 1. Well, we'll
Oh,
figure
you
this
got
out.
Unit 1, okay.
We'll get it right.
Maybe if I had the right unit here. I don't have a Unit 1,
Okay,
so you're special.
I am. All right. Well, what's interesting, Rick, as they're going around the corner, though, is to mention, you know, that the Middlebury Regional EMS, Kate Rothwell, is their executive director. I think it's important to remember and to announce to the community how they cover 11 towns.
That's right.
And these ambulances are going 24/7, 365. And we take for granted that they are always there.
I don't believe that's Jason either.
I don't think so.
No.
Okay. Well, you can always tell the sirens blow, the horns blow, and people enjoy it. And so far, no one is throwing any candy.
No, I think a lot of them have stopped. I know the fire department did many years ago.
Yep.
Because they were so afraid of children getting under the tires.
Choking. Yep.
Because it's, you know, if they get close to a vehicle, it's hard to see them.
Yep.
It was a big safety factor.
The American Legion Auxiliary, celebrating their service to all of us, the Honor Guard, Color Guard. The empty chair, POW, prisoner of war, something that we still have to respect, honor, and dedicate ourselves that they never be forgotten.
There, now we can hear a band.
Now we can. The auxiliary, post number 27, with the first of their floats, followed by the Grand Marshal, who this year is Tom Scanlon, and who is the adjutant of the Vermont Department Commander for the American Legion.
And we got the Boy Scouts. Middlebury Boy Scouts.
Yes. Well, and the first of the bands. Very sharp looking.
Yes.
Very well received by the public.
Brings back memories of those days.
Yes. Rob DeBruin in the back, following up, but certainly great job of over 50 kids. Sir Duke by Stevie Wonder. Followed by Miss Vermont USA 2023. She seems quite happy to be part of this. Middlebury Lions Club. Again, an organization that has served these communities for many, many,
Oh,
many years.
Many years. and have donated to an awful lot of organizations in this town.
I guess they have. And, well, instead of, well, I don't know, they're throwing something, there they go. They're throwing something. So, and then the Yellow House community. The Yellow House is, my understanding, it's the house that's up on the corner of Seminary and High Street.
Yes.
And
Yes.
large group of students and individuals, which is wonderful to see.
Oh, it's a wonderful place, and they're doing great things there.
So we compliment them, we thank them. Another one of the Addison County Sheriff's cruisers. Well, supposedly, Rick, we're on to Unit 2, or at least close to it.
Okay.
So we go through
We got some more sheriff's cruisers here, a couple of them.
yeah, and then followed by the middle school band.
Oop, we got a Middlebury cruiser. No, that's another sheriff.
Sheriff, yeah.
Okay. They're well represented today.
Yes. And again, the Mums Band, Middlebury Union Middle School, Connor Young, their director. 68 players, grades 7 and 8. Crazy in Love by Beyonce. It's great to see
Yes.
that enthusiasm.
Now, this is their first year with having a sixth grade. Sixth grade.
Yep.
with them.
But their director told me it's only 7th and 8th grade that are in the band so
Oh,
far.
is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And then the new project is the skate park. And, so here we have a demonstration of all of these kids either on skateboards or roller skates or whatever they call those things.
Scooters.
Scooters. And then a group that's representing today is World Polio Day, and the Rotary sponsors this. Again, one of their projects for an organization that does, again, so much for our community, International Rotary. Compliments to all of those fine individuals for everything they do for all of us,
Yes.
this entire community. But I know that ending polio is one of their goals now.
Former library director, David. Can't think of his last
Yes,
name.
yes, on his bicycle. Oh, some of those kids, I think, when the kids throw this stuff, I think they enjoy it because they get to peg it at people.
Of course, you remember, I'm sure, polio when we were kids.
Oh, absolutely.
And the vaccinations first started,
Yes,
where we'd line up in rows in the
Yep.
hallway of the school.
of the school.
Yep.
Well, this home was built all by the students under the construction tech program of Hannaford Career Center.
Oh, wow.
And it says, "This house could be yours." It's one of those little houses.
Little houses, yes.
Yeah. Adorably cute. Now, if we had one of those, I think we'd have to get a couple of those little vehicles that the Shriners drive, because the garage wouldn't be big enough to fit any of our cars.
There you go, yes.
But again, though, Rick, that Career Center does some wonderful things for the students.
Oh, yes, they do.
4-H program. And here we go with one of the G-Stone entries. The tires alone on that are massive. But
We probably could eat for a year on the cost of those tires.
I know it, comfortably. The Open Door Clinic, again, an organization that prides itself on medically helping access to all who need it, regardless of their financial abilities. We certainly thank them for their dedicated role in this community.
Comes the Weybridge Fire Department.
And Bill Sinks is their chief.
Bill Sinks, yes.
Again, an organization that you work very closely with.
Yes.
All of these fire departments work very, very closely together, especially when they're needed in a capacity of helping each other. And then followed by John Emerson and his, and I'm going to get this wrong, I think is it a 1950? I did know this at one time. 1952 Cadillac.
Cadillac, okay.
And,
Wow, it's in nice shape.
oh, I guess it is. And I think that's his family, his grandchildren. And then Cairo, the Cairo, people, the Shriners, the Legion of Honor, which are all the flags.
Now, here we go.
There we are.
There we go.
Now, Rick, if you and I could catch one of those, maybe we could borrow it for the day.
I know. We could have a grand time.
That's true. And then in the first one here, it looks to be Stuart Lee.
Stuart Lee, yes. Stuart's done that for many, many years.
He loves it as much. And the thing of it is, when you watch the faces of most of these individuals, they enjoy it as much as the kids do.
Yes, they do. That gentleman I should know too. I can't think of his name, but he's done it for many years.
He's part of the Clowns group,
Yes.
which brings such joy and happiness to everybody. And again, you're starting to hear the Catamount Pipe Band. And
Now, I have a grandson that would love this because he plays the bagpipes. And he plays in competitions, so he absolutely loves them.
it's a great sound.
Yeah.
It really is. It's an ethereal sound.
He's going to Scotland to play here sometime this summer.
Oh,
Yes.
wonderful. The home of bagpipes.
Yes, at Pegboy.
Ah. There's something that is about a bagpipe, though, that is a mysterious sound and an ancient sound.
Yes. Wow, this is a great group.
I guess it is. The Catamount Band. They're right in sync with each other.
Where are they from? Does it say? Guess it doesn't say.
I guess it doesn't
Okay.
say. All right, my notes don't tell me either.
All ages there.
I guess so, yes. And then followed by the Hannaford Grocery Group. And they look to be passing out whatever those things are that they wear around their necks, the little
Oh, yep.
plastic lays or something like that.
Open bags.
Yep. Followed by the Bridport Fire Department. Now, when you compare the size of that truck
Yes.
to what we now have,
right behind it.
Yes, right behind it. So that gives you a perfect image of where we have come to today.
Yes.
Bridport, Dusty Hustis is their fire chief. So nice that they could participate again this year. And then, Rick, followed by what you and I were talking about. There it is.
Oh, here comes.
There it is, the
yes.
steamer, which is part of the Patel Hose Company.
Yes, Middlebury steamer. The boiler part, which you see in the center, is all brass.
Yep. Can you imagine how that piece of fire equipment served this community
Oh,
for many, many years?
and this having been a volunteer, that steamer had to be fired up and get a fire built up and get pressure built up before they could even think about doing anything with it.
Sure.
So there was quite a long delay.
It was a long, long process.
Yes, in the cities, they were piped. So, because they were going so often, they were piped so when they could leave the station and be fully
Wow.
ready to go. But
Gorgeous horses.
okay,
Oh, look at that. There is a
They
piece
are beautiful
of,
horses.
They are.
1880.
1880.
Skip Patterson riding the back.
Followed by the Middlebury Fire Department. That brings back memories to you, Rick, I'm sure.
Oh, it sure does.
You marched with them for a good number of years.
Oh, many, many, many years.
Followed by one of Middlebury's pieces of equipment.
That is the latest pumper. Patrick just had surgery on his shoulder, so he's not marching.
I don't know what the Volkswagen bus is unless it's
Just a rider, I guess. I'm gonna sneak a drink of coffee.
And then something that comes in usually every year is the Festival on the Green.
Yes.
Which this year is July 9 through 15. Set of lovely concerts. They're free and open to the public. Followed in turn by the Addison County Democrats, which look to be sort of part of that is still the Festival on the Green. They're passing out things, so they sort of got botched up on that one. So some must be Festival on the Green, others must be Democrats.
Democrats, there
Okay.
you go. Or a little of both.
Yes, yes.
And this guy in a bicycle is gonna get run over by a fire truck here.
Looks like he's having fun though.
Yes,
Part of
he
the
is. Oh, that's a festival on the
Festival
green.
on the Green also. There we
Yes.
go. Followed by the Shoreham Fire Department. And Jeff Treadway is their chief. And then the Shoreham First Responders. We have to give them all thanks for their because they're all volunteers.
We got their
Silver
4-H
4-H Club.
4-H club,
Yes.
probably on there somewhere.
Well, it's not on mine, but it's 4-H anyways. And then,
Oh, then we got Shaw's. Oh, I'd like that vehicle.
oh, look at that.
That's a beautiful little truck.
I guess it is. And this next one must be still part of the Shaws. It is. They are passing out, I don't know, something.
Looks like water.
There we
I
go.
don't know what the front one is, but
No.
they got a lot of water on there.
Oh, it's candy and
Yeah,
marshmallow things and you name it.
a little bit of everything.
Can't be they threw it far enough, Rick, to get in where we are.
No, I guess not. No. Well, watch out. They get one of those bottles through the window there.
That's true. That is true. And then the Salisbury Fire Department is represented. Ryan Emilio is their chief. And according to our sheet, Rick, this is called the Hannaford Fife and Drum.
Okay.
And it says on their thing, Hannaford's Volunteers.
That's another nice sound.
Yes, it is. It is. Underhill, Vermont.
Ah.
So they had to get up early this morning to be here.
Yes, they did.
And then,
Oh, we got a runaway child. He just caught her.
yeah. Then the hockey.
Okay.
Oh my God, here comes the Zamboni.
Yeah.
That hockey organization has mushroomed in size.
Yes, it has.
Huge, huge. Followed by the Cornwall Fire Department. David Burno is their chief.
Oh, yes.
It's amazing when you think, though, of all of these towns, the equipment that they have, but how they all can work together and under mutual aid.
Yes, and with the manpower today, that's becoming more and more important.
Yes, absolutely. And then a little Volkswagen Bug of some sort. It says Breadloaf View Farm, Cornwall Cattle Company.
Huh. Oh, nice Thunderbird.
Yes. Breadloaf View Farm. United Ag. Well, they're all having fun.
Yes. There's a good tractor for your lawn.
Absolutely. My problem was I couldn't get up in it.
Yes.
We thank them for their participation this year. Some rather
Very
large
expensive.
pieces. Yes.
Yes. Which is great.
I don't know if these are all the same company or.
John Deere for sure. I'm not sure about this one. But
Yeah. I don't think so. I think this one is Champlain Valley.
Is that? Okay.
Yes. At least that looks like their monogram on the side. The Dodge pickup from Wagner Farm.
All right, here comes my vehicle.
There we go.
always been my dream. Never will happen.
Well,
Model A Ford. I don't know if that is though. That may not be.
it's nice.
Yes.
It's nice. Might be a little chilly in the wintertime, but
Oh, I know. Well, you wouldn't want to drive that in the winter anyway.
Ilsley Library.
There.
They certainly are well represented
Very much so.
with the signs, I love books. Well represented this year.
So good to see so many youth still out there supporting a library.
Absolutely. All of this controversy of closure of libraries, and sorry,
Yes.
I know we're not supposed to be political, but I'm very happy to see this many people supporting a library.
Yes. Yes.
Vital part of a community is a library. And then the Vermont Championship must be Little League by the looks of it.
Okay.
I wonder if this is where they practice throwing things.
That could be. Got the pictures.
That's
you
right.
know.
That's right. That's right. Followed by the little ones throwing stuff too. On the smiles of their faces, they're enjoying this as much as everybody is enjoying them.
Oh, yes. Comes the bridge school.
Yep. They've been part of our parade now for many, many years. Part of this community, I think, for what, 1970s?
Yes, I would think so.
You sort of lose track after a while.
Oh, I know. What you thought was 5 years ago was actually 15.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Well, they're passing out something. I can't quite see what it is, but. And then the oxen, you couldn't see it, Rick. I could see it from where my vantage point is. The two oxen pushed themselves over to the side and were eating part of the flowers.
Oh, really?
And so they took a couple of those
aren't
people.
those cool?
Yep.
Yes. Nice looking animals.
Well, Carrera and Sons have.
Ooh, they got a brand new pump truck. Ooh, that looks brand new.
I guess it does. How'd you like to parallel park that thing?
No,
Okay.
and I do pride myself on parallel parking, but not that.
Not that. The size of some of these machines, wow.
Oh, I know.
And again, I think this is
Let's see what the bus is.
it Eastview?
Oh, could be.
Elderly Services.
Elderly Services.
Project Independence.
All right.
Honoring the memory. Followed by an old John Deere tractor, 1951. I wouldn't mind having that
No,
myself.
that's a nice one.
I would like that.
It's a normal size. There again, size.
Yes. Followed by MCTV and Kurt Broderson and his staff. You can watch yourself as you're going along. And then,
Mike Palmer.
yeah, with a bridal, I don't know if that's a bridal party in the back. It looks like it.
Yeah, or dressed to look like it anyway.
Yes. Followed by the heavy rescue of MREMs.
I think.
And I think that very well may be it.
Yeah, it looks
I
like it
think.
might be.
Because I don't believe that there was anything past that, but I suppose we can wait for a second and see. While we're waiting, Rick, I just wanted to sort of also mention on behalf of all of the fire departments that they're all looking for members.
Yes.
And it's something that they have all of this impressive equipment, but their most valuable resource that they have is manpower.
Manpower, yes.
And so if any of you that are within listening shot are at all interested, please contact any of the departments, because we are reliant upon their dedicated service.
Yes.
And
Yes, it's muchly needed, and I'd say all departments are shorthanded.
yes,
And if you're looking for a way to help your community and think it might be something, come join us, or at least come visit.
yes,
Come see what it's all about.
absolutely.
We'd love to have you come to a meeting or training session and see what it's about.
Yeah.
So,
Well, Rick, I believe that that's it for 2023 Memorial Day Parade. It's been a pleasure
It has
co-hosting
been.
this with you. Again, I thank MCTV. I thank all of you for being with us, and we look forward to doing this again.
all right.
All right.
Thank you for asking me.
Well, this will become a yearly event, and I believe from this point it will go up to the monument where they have some kind of a ceremony up there.
Okay.
You and I aren't needed up there, but anyways, we thank all of you, and for those of you that are at home, have a wonderful Memorial Day. Be safe. Take
Yes.
care.
Take care now.